Well guys, not how I wanted to end this video today. What's up guys, I want to start this video by saying thank you. I didn't even get a chance to make my 500 sub video because you guys subscribed so fast. I was on like 480 or something and started to arrange the 500 sub video. We're now on 580. Just like that. So I want to say thank you, but not thank you. The 500 sub video is going to come, but it's not even ready because you guys were just so fast. So I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for the comments. The shed videos on over 3,000 views in 2 weeks. I just can't believe that. The Halloween videos on the up, and every car video for the last 6 months is getting views after views after views. So I want to say thank you. Enjoy this video today, guys. It didn't end how I wanted it to end, but we're back on Bolt, and let's go 13 seconds. I want to talk about today's video supporter, the VAG Yard. They are specialists in all things VAG. They are also top specialists in performance 20 valve turbos. So anything you need to do with the VAG vehicle, if it's just some brakes, some servicing, a cheeky little normal air filter, or a cheeky little upgraded air filter, and all your performance mods, they are the home of the 600 brake Seat Alhambra. Woo! Geez, big owl fly. So please back and support today's video supporter, and that is the VAG Yard in Corby. Check out their Instagram and check out their Facebook, both the VAG Yard. For anything VAG Yard standard, performance, or even second-hand parts, they have got a unit full of second-hand parts to save you straps of cash. So remember, anything from standard repairs to performance upgrades, hit up the VAG Yard. Let's get into today's video. What's up guys? Right then, let's talk wheels again. After when I first bought this car 6 months ago, I went straight in, bought race tyres, didn't fit, got all confused, stopped and started again. We're now going to, in the winter, start the transformation with our wheels. So we've bought some 15-inch wheels. So why are we changing these? So 15's obviously less mass to spin. And even once we've got a wider tyre on, which I'm going to explain in a second, the diameter of the wheel will still be smaller, so then more rotations with the smaller wheel. As we explained at the track, the wall of the tyre, when we started to let pressure out, this wall just stopped going anywhere. And what we need is as much of this tyre on the ground as possible. So as you let the tyres down, this spreads with the weight. So the tyre doesn't go bigger, it just spreads. I wish I could use two hands. It just spreads out. So with the 17s, we have lack of wall, so it stops at that point. With the 15s, as you can already see, so this isn't even the same circumference of that, but look at the side wall. So if we started to let this tyre down, this side wall has got so much more give in it to allow the tyre to spread, thus putting more rubber on the ground. So obviously we won't stick with these 185s. We might do on the rear because we want less tyre on the ground on the rear. So let's explain that with these two as well. Let's put them next to each other. So now for the rears, look how much thinner obviously the 185 is to the 215. Now that's what you want on the rear because you want less. Now ideally, we want to go as skinny as possible on the rears, but I've just bought these set of 4 15-inch wheels with tyres on. So at the moment, we're probably going to run the 185s. Now, they fit on the back. Very strange. They've been hand-painted. Not the best. But obviously, the rears, whack that 60 PSI back in them, takes even more tyre off the ground, less friction on the rear. More friction on the front, so more tyre on the front, less tyre on the back. That's what we need. But our fronts, as I've explained before on videos, We have the Audi S3 big brakes on the front, so the large disc. Now this is where our good friends, and I was going to say good friends, I've met them once, our good friends at the VAG Yard, Aaron at the VAG Yard, has said what we need to do is change the carrier, change the disc. You can keep the pads and the caliper, and you can put the smaller disc on. So, smaller disc, smaller carrier. Don't even need to bleed the brakes. Bleed the brakes. Bleed the brakes. We just take the caliper off, take the sliders out, put the sliders into a new carrier, smaller disc. 15s should fit on there. Now, what Aaron said was, this is the best conversion to do, because if I want to go on a track day, which I probably do a circuit day, I want the bigger brakes on and probably the 17-inch wheels. So this way, I can literally within half an hour, change it back to the big brakes, bigger wheels, obviously change the suspension, but back to a track car. And then when I want a drag car, put the smaller discs to get the smaller wheels on. So let's take a road trip to the VAG Yard. Well, we made it, gang. The home of Big Al. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the VAG Yard is home to the 600 raw horse of Big Al, the people carrier Seat Alhambra. Yes, you heard that right, a people carrier with 600 horse. But sadly, last time out of Santa Pod, the gearbox had a seizing issue which kept it in second or third, and Aaron let out the clutch, and in his own words, cylinder 4 left the chat. Also taking a very expensive camshaft with it. But this engine is going to be rebuilt, and we are going to do a very, very special episode on Big Al. Goodies from the VAG Yard back at CWS Motorsport. I need to stop saying that, HQ. Obviously, I know on the video you already saw the goodies, but I didn't really explain anything. Aaron was very busy, and I also wanted to do a video. On Big Al. The race car you saw, but as you could see, he broke it. So his gearbox stuck in third, and it spat fourth out. He cracked his crank. No, he didn't. He cracked his cams. I won't tell you how much they were, and smashed the valves. He hadn't got into the pistons just yet. You could see on the video. You can see now. Look, I'm looking in now. You can see the valves, which say the pistons have probably hit valves, cam. So fourth, in Aaron's words, has left the chat, but he did run a PB at the Yam Yam test day. I'm going to put that video in now.
With the Alhambra, when the 11s earlier, we've not seen some shits. He's taking on his BMW. Take the win. I think he's going to do it. Big Al goes through 11:43, 132.
And once again, Aaron's own words, the aerodynamics of a loaf of bread. 600 brake horsepower in a people carrier. It's the same engine as that. Maybe Aaron from the VAG Yard has to build us an engine at some point. Right, let's not get carried away. Smaller brakes. So let's get a tape measure and see the difference. So the brakes that we currently have on now are 310. Someone will jump on there and say, oh, they're actually 315. I can't measure them properly because the hub's in the way. Now these ones I can, and these are 2 something. 280, 285. So 3. So this is the size of the brakes that are on there, roughly. And these are the size of the brakes we're going to put on. And then the smaller carriers. Now, let's get these carriers into the workshop. And also these, well, I might have to grind them outside because they're going to make a lot of mess. But let's get them in to the newly fitted vise, which you'll see on the next garage upgrade. Let's clean these up, get them painted and get them fitted. Now for this winter, we're just going to keep the 185/60 tyres on there, but I will be looking for some bigger tyres. Probably not drag ones just yet, because I'm not taking that leap and that money. Probably get some road legal accelerators are meant to be good, so look at those. It was a treasure chest of goodies, the VAG Yard, but a big shout out to them. What a guy. I'm actually going to go back and do a full YouTube video on Big Al when he's rebuilt the engine, and he may take me out in his, I think, 400 brake, he said. Sorry if that's wrong, Aaron. 400 brake, road legal Seat Alhambra. Any parts, Aaron's, I'm going to butcher this again, but Aaron's motto was he doesn't like putting good cars to scrap, so they keep a lot of really good parts, and that's where these discs and carriers have come from a car that he broke down and now helps out the community by selling those parts on. Check out the VAG Yard. Also, let's head over and see all the goodies he gave me. I love a good freebie. Check out all the goodies. Selection of coloured stickers. Write in the comments, guys, which colour I need to put on my car. Obviously, they're probably going to go on the blacked out windows, so it'll be grey, red or white. Maybe a black one under the bonnet at some point, but write in the comments. Then some key rings. Look at these. These are actually the silicone hose that they're getting printed up to buy and sell on all boost hoses and silicone hosing, but turned into key rings. I got 1, 2, and a plastic TVY. Now you don't have to, but 1, I love marketing, and 2, I love a good freebie. This is very strange to look at without the Team Dynamics wheels on the rear and how well they fit the arches, but obviously this is still jacked up from Santa Pod. So you got so much gap. Obviously this is smaller diameter. It's so weird, but we need to get used to it because it's cool looking at how wide the front is, 215s, and the skinny one on the back. Because that's what we're going to be running. We may put a spacer on the back to make it match, but I need to look at aerodynamically. Does that really matter? Or is it best to keep the tyre inside the arch? But it's quite funny because the front's actually higher than the back now because of the diameter difference, but I need to start getting used to what it's going to look like. Obviously it'll drop it down as soon as we change the brakes, but I'm just excited to do stuff and change stuff. So yeah, let's get these brakes cleaned up and get them put on. Okay then guys, so before we fit these carriers and the brake discs, we need to clean them up. They're a little bit dirty. So what we're going to start just with a wire brush, a little bit of elbow grease. I have started on this one already, and you can see, hopefully, see the difference. And then this is already painted red. We are going to paint these red again because the calipers are already red on bolt. So once we've got this off by hand, we're then going to get some brushes, wire brushes on my drill, and I'm going to hit it a bit harder, and then I may, on these faces that need to be flat and sit flush against the hub, and where the brake, where the pads have to sit in there, I'm going to get in there with a file, and then also on these flat edges that have to sit against the wheel hub, I am going to get some sort of electric disc. I think I've got one that go in my drill actually, and get them nice and flush. So when you bolt them up, the faces sit nicely. Then once they're cleaned up, spray them with brake cleaner, and then we're going to paint them with some special 220 degrees red caliper and carrier paint. So let's get these cleaned up. Well guys, not how I wanted to end this video today. It's kind of a positive because we're doing actual better quality work, but it's not positive for you guys because you guys love us start to finish all in one video. What I am going to say is, in this winter series now, you are not going to get projects from start to finish. You might have got the shed, you might have got the Halloween, that's totally fine because I can film them while throwing other videos in the middle, but the car, I cannot get these things done in a week, full-time job. And also if I'm changing the front end of the car or like these brakes, I want to do it properly. You've got to do it properly for safety first. So they're not going to take me a week to do it. And if you guys want a video every week, you're going to have to deal with episodes. So we're going to have some other videos thrown in there. I've got another Christmas surprise for you all. And some dad on the estate done some banging Christmas lights to his house. Do I have to challenge him, or shall I do something for the whole estate? So yeah, we're going to do car videos in between our sporadic DIY and random videos. So please stay tuned. That's the negative, but the positive is I wasn't happy with how the carriers were cleaning up. So I phoned the local shop blasters. I said, could you do something this small? They said, yeah, we can throw it in there, 30 quid. So I wasn't getting all the edges cleaned up. When you're working with brakes, the pads have got to work properly. I didn't have the tools to get into the nooks and crannies of it. So I thought, you know what, let's get them shop blasted and do the job properly. So I'll get them painted when they come back from the shop blasters this week. So I hope you've enjoyed that episode. Like, share, and subscribe. We're nearly at 600 already. I just cannot believe it. Can we get 1,000 subs by Christmas? That's only down to you guys. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, good or bad. I do not care. And we'll see you all on the flip side. Spuds.